To this day, we still don't know what lurks in the depths of our oceans. Even though over 80% of the ocean remains unexplored, there are so many bizarre creatures that have been discovered in recent years. It just goes to show we truly don't know half of what's down there. From time to time, fishermen or divers will catch something in their nets or see something while underwater that leaves them baffled. In today's video, we will be taking a look at one such event that took place back in 1964 when fishermen caught a strange-looking sea monster. This creature had a huge head, multiple legs, and was a grayish color. The creature appeared to be completely unknown, and no one could identify it. So what exactly did they catch? Was this some sort of never-before-seen animal or something else entirely? Let's find out. But before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. It really helps my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, guys. It was May 1964 when 4 fishermen from Australia decided to go on a fishing trip to Hook Island. Their boat was called the Viking, and they were all well-experienced fishermen who knew the waters well. They had set off with high hopes of catching some fish and having a great day out in the sun. But little did they know, what they would catch would leave them terrified and confused. They were hoping to come back with enough fish to have a feast that night, but instead, they ended up bringing back a mysterious creature. That wasn't any kind of fish they had ever seen before. After setting sail, the men fished for some time without any luck. They weren't worried since usually after a while they would start reeling in the fish. But this time it seemed like they just weren't interested. Just when they were about to give up, their luck changed, and they felt a tug on their line. One of the men said, "There's something big out there." When they realized that they had caught something big, the men got excited. But soon, their excitement died down when they realized that whatever was attached to the line wasn't any kind of fish. What they had hooked was a slimy gray-colored creature that looked like nothing they had ever seen before. It had a large head and several rows of sharp teeth. It also had long, thin legs that made it look like a humanoid creature. This was very strange since they were deep in the ocean and not anywhere near land. At first, the men thought that perhaps they had found a seal of some kind. However, this didn't seem likely since seals usually do not have teeth like these, nor do they have multiple rows of them. To make things even stranger, the creature didn't seem to want to come up to the surface. Despite them pulling in on the line, it just kept going deeper and deeper into the ocean. This meant only one thing. If they wanted to catch whatever this creature was, they needed to go after it. For about 2 hours, the men struggled to reel in the creature. They couldn't believe how strong it was and how it just kept pulling them further and further into the ocean. Just when they almost lost hope, they finally managed to bring it to the surface. When it emerged, they used the full length of the rope, and it was then they realized they had caught something truly special. What they had found was an extremely rare type of oarfish. Despite being massive, the creature wasn't actually dangerous to humans. These oarfish can grow to be over 10 feet long and weigh around 300 pounds. Because of their size, they are often referred to as king of herrings. Even though it's a fish, the strange features of this oarfish made it look more like a sea monster than an actual animal. And seeing as most people have never seen one, it's easy to understand why the men thought it was some kind of new species. When they pulled the fish out of the water, they noticed that it had a strange light blue tint to its skin. The creature was also very slimy, and its scales were incredibly smooth. All of this combined to make the fish look otherworldly. One of the fishermen snapped a photo of the fish before throwing it back into the ocean. Looking at the picture now, it's hard to believe that this is an actual fish. It looks more like some kind of fantasy creature that only exists in books and movies. News of the catch quickly spread, and soon experts from all over wanted to get their hands on the fish. Some thought that perhaps it was a never-before-seen species, while others thought it might be some kind of hybrid fish. But in reality, it was just a very rare oarfish. Despite it being a fish, scientists were still baffled by its appearance. They couldn't believe that such a creature actually existed, and they were eager to study it. Unfortunately, the fishermen had already thrown the fish back into the ocean. If they had kept it, perhaps we would have learned so much more about these oarfish. Even though the fish was released back into the ocean, scientists were still able to learn quite a bit from the photograph that was taken. One scientist came forward and claimed that it wasn't a new species, but instead a very rare one. He said that oarfish aren't actually that rare, but they are very elusive and rarely come to the surface. Oarfish can live up to a massive 200 years, which makes them one of the longest living animals on the planet. These fish can grow to be incredibly long, with some sources saying they can reach lengths of over 50 feet. This, however, hasn't been proven, and the largest oarfish ever found was just 18 feet long. Even though the oarfish may not be a sea monster, it definitely looks like one. Its appearance is so bizarre that it seems straight out of a movie. Oarfish usually prefer deep waters and rarely come close to the surface. This is why sightings are so rare and why most people don't believe they exist. After hearing this news, the fishermen were a little disappointed, but still very excited. They had managed to catch one of the rarest fish in the world. Even though it wasn't a never-before-seen species, it was still very special, and they were glad they had the opportunity to catch it. The men returned home and told everyone about their amazing catch. They described the fish as being slimy and having a strange bluish tint to it. They also said that its eyes were a brilliant red color, which made it look even more scary. Some people believed the fisherman's story, while others thought they were just making it up for attention. But the fishermen insisted they were telling the truth, and that they would never forget the experience. As time went on, the story of the Hook Island sea monster faded away. Most people had forgotten about it until recently when someone rediscovered the photo that was taken. The photo shows the four men standing next to the creature. They are smiling, proud of their catch. If it hadn't been for the photo, no one would have believed the fisherman's story. But now there is proof that the men really did catch the sea monster. Since the picture was shared online, it has gone viral. People all over the world are amazed by the strange-looking oarfish. Many people are skeptical and think it's some kind of hoax. But there are many credible sources that say the fish is real. Scientists are still baffled by the oarfish, and they are trying to learn more about it. Maybe someday we will learn more about this strange-looking fish. But until then, it will remain a mystery. What do you think of the oarfish? Is it really a sea monster, or is it just a very strange-looking fish? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.